I approached 100 strangers in 28 days. Here are the stats and the name of every single person. Now you're probably thinking I could have just made up these names. You're right, but I got receipts. And I know you're probably wondering why. What is the point? For a YouTube video? I actually just decided that I wanted to approach a random stranger every single day for so many reasons. And in this video, we are going to discuss those reasons. And I have all these cool stats, but we're going to get into that later. Right now, I just want to explain why it is so beneficial to randomly approach strangers. I don't know about you, but I grew up really introverted. I did not go out of my way to talk to strangers ever. In fact, I tried to avoid it. But as I got older, I realized the value of networking and communicating to other people and acquiring friends. Let me give you an example. You walk into a school and you know nobody. There's a school of 300 people, let's say, and you are the only person you know. How are you gonna feel? Now think about if you went into that same school and you know every single person. How would you feel then? Because out of 300 people, you are going to relate and be compatible with a handful of people. And the more people you reach out to, the more people that you have a chance of relating to, and the more compatible people you surround yourself with, the more better you feel about yourself because you're able to be yourself around these people. Let's pretend that you're into poetry. Now, I'm not into poetry, and if I ask my neighbors, they're probably not into poetry. But if I ask 300 people, what are they into? Maybe one of them will say poetry. And once I find somebody in the same boat as me who cares about the same things, I can surround myself with that person and excel in whatever it is that I care about. Because two minds are better than one. But let's talk about the one mind that is yours, because you have a mind that you need to grow. And how do you grow it? You have to train it. And this is one of the best training exercises I have ever done for myself. My confidence is completely different than when I started this challenge. I used to be nervous walking up to strangers, whether it be a guy or a girl. Now, obviously, the hotter the girl, the more intimidating it is. But I have met so many different people that I can walk up to any hot girl that I see and be confident when I talk to her. And that is something that I am so grateful for. It is a lifelong skill that I trained for 28 days and transformed myself into a whole different person. If it is out of my comfort zone, good. I'm gonna make the approach because I've done enough to not fear rejection. So many people live in a state of fear. We are born in it. We care about what other people think, and we care about their perception or judgment of us. But as soon as you start approaching people, you care less and less about what they think because you realize they're just one in billions of people. So I have been able to get rid of my fear. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some times when there is still a little bit, but it is so easy for me to overcome it because I've done it so many times. There has been so many baddies that I just walk up to because I know I don't want to do it. So guess what? I do it. And now whenever I see a baddie, it is so much easier for me. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was younger and introverted, I didn't have girls walking up to me asking me for my number. I didn't have guys asking me about my interests, but I am that guy now. I go up to them and I create those opportunities for myself and for them. No matter what happens with the interaction, I always have one goal, and that is to raise their state of mind. However they are feeling, I want them to feel better than they felt before they met me. And it is so easy to do. Literally, a compliment goes so far, and you can compliment anything you like about them. It is so easy to find a compliment, and unless you make that interaction, you will never extract the value hidden inside it. I remember one time I was leaving the gym and I didn't meet anybody yet that day, so I knew I had to meet somebody. So all I did is walked up to one guy and told him that he was looking big. Simple compliment, but because I said that allowed him to open up and tell me about his perspective of myself. And he said, yeah, I noticed you earlier. You're looking huge too. And now my state is raised because I got out of my comfort zone and made the approach. And that is just one of many examples. One thing that I have learned, one of the best lessons is you can't judge a book by its cover. You've heard that before, and the reason people say that is because you see somebody and you're gonna judge them by their outer appearance, but you have no idea what it's like on the inside. You have no idea what they are into. Maybe they're into the same things as you, and you will never know unless you talk to them. And it's pretty easy to find out who you're compatible with once you start talking to people. And once you find those people that you are compatible with, your life excels in so many different ways. By approaching, you gain confidence, you start surrounding yourself with people who are more like-minded, and you have eradicated the fear of rejection. You have eradicated the fear of going up to strangers and making interactions that literally could be life-changing. I'm going to continue to grow so much because I didn't do this for YouTube. I did this for myself. I was tired of being the guy in the gym who saw everybody that I see usually and not know anything about them. It is so much better whenever I go into the gym and I know everybody in the gym. That is my goal. I want to walk into the gym and know every single person there. And I haven't yet, but guess what? I've met literally 59 people from the gym. Just the gym. 21 people at work and 20 people in random public places. places. And once you meet that many people, you start to run into people you know. And once you run into people you know, it usually just makes your day better. You have more positive interactions when you run into people who you have already positively interacted with. It just amplifies your quality of life in so many different ways. I've met 69 guys and 36 girls, and let me tell you, not every single one of these were easy. Some of these were intimidating, very attractive girls, and I made the approach anyways because I'm not scared of rejection. I'm scared of living in a regret. So here's the amount of people I met each day: 7, 14, 21, 28 days, with the highest day being 14, which I didn't even plan to do that day. I just happened to keep on meeting people because I believe in the law of attraction. Whenever you start thinking and doing something, you start attracting those things to you. And I started approaching strangers, and strangers started coming to me, and more opportunities for me to meet them have happened. Some days I didn't feel like meeting anybody, so I only met one person, but I knew I have to meet at least one person before I leave or go home. And if I go home and I haven't met anybody, then I have to go somewhere to meet a stranger. Like, I can't let myself not meet somebody because I'm leaving growth on the table. And like I said, I've grown so much from this in so many different ways. I thought a couple cool stats were seeing the most unique and the most common names. So the most common name was Joe. I met 3 Joes, and the most unique is a girl named Tiger, a guy named Uriah, and a girl named Lolly. Fun story about the girl named Lolly is I pulled up to the stoplight and she was in the car next to me, and I hit her with the window trick, and she rolled down her window and I rolled my window up, and I started laughing at her, she started laughing, but then I got her to roll it down again, and we had a full long conversation, literally in the most random place. But if I didn't have the confidence, or if I still was living in fear, that interaction wouldn't have happened. But that was one of the most fun interactions I had. So yeah, some days were high, some days were low, but an average of 2.5 people per day, which I think is pretty good considering that most of my life it was 0. I'd meet 0 new people every single day. I'd walk in my own footsteps, I'd see the same people, and I'd minimally talk. My life since then has dramatically escalated in quality. It is so much better now that I have the confidence to walk up to anybody and talk to him. You have to talk to people in this lifetime. It is how you level up. Making interactions leads to opportunities, and opportunities is what makes your life better. Imagine staying in the same state, at the same job, at the same rate, doing the same things every single day for the rest of your life. Now, I don't know about you, but to me that is terrifying, because in this life you could do literally anything, but it takes meeting other people. People are behind transactions. People are behind doors that open. Doors don't open by themselves. And if you are the person who is confident and makes that approach regardless of how you feel, and try to raise date, even if it doesn't go your way, you could literally walk up to a hot girl and say, hey, I thought you were pretty, just want to tell you have a good day. Let's say she's mean to you, it doesn't matter. You did what you should have regardless of how you feel. And now you can feel proud regardless of the outcome. You're not outcome dependent, you're outcome independent. And the reason I'm sharing all this is because I vouch for it so much. I'm going to continue to meet at least one stranger every single day, but I've gained so much that I feel greedy to not share this information with you and try to influence you to do the same thing, because there is so much that you're missing out on by not meeting strangers and approaching people every single day. Every single day you have the opportunity to meet somebody who has the potential to change your life for the rest of your life. It could be the most powerful network you have ever made, and it could be from somebody that you least expected it to be. I have 100 names with 100 different stories from 100 different interactions I made that I have learned from and gained value. And I'm gonna continue to do so. So my question is, why would you not take that same opportunity? Do you want to live in fear? Do you want to think about the most confident version of yourself and just let that be a dream rather than your reality? Because it doesn't have to be. You can live your dream life. What I want to do is level up my character as much as possible, because all of this materialistic stuff, I could lose it all, but my character I keep forever. So I want to train my character into being the best version that it possibly can be. And I swear, this is one of the best ways to do it. You know what's better than me approaching random strangers every single day? Having a roommate that I also convinced to approach strangers every single day. And he literally told me that it's one of my best ideas, and he's so grateful that I convinced him to do so. He was more introverted than me. He did not like approaching strangers at all, but I convinced him to do so, and he has grown and met so many more people because of it. I seriously mean it when I say you're missing out by not making these approaches every single day. So my challenge to you is to go meet a stranger, at least one, every single day. Step out of your comfort zone and do your absolute best to raise their state. I believe you get what you put out, and if you are putting out that good energy every single day, you will be rewarded. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, stay sedulous.